Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and I thought I was going to come out here and do this on my computer, but my computer decided to update, and I sat out here for almost an hour with it doing nothing. So I went ahead and did my week ahead spread on my phone, and I was going to do another spread real quick. I found that I want to do. I've had this recurring dream again. It's always dream interpretations for me. I found a new spread I wanted to try out for dream interpretations, and the sun it's like almost 7, and it keeps going in and out of one small space in the tree. I'm like, just set already, just go over there, because it's getting the more it shines directly on me, the hotter I'm getting. But I found this spread. It's called Exploring a Dream. This is my old phone. Thank God I still have this. Or yeah. Um, It's by Emerald Lotus Divination, Exploring a Dream Tarot Spread for Better Understanding a Dream. And when I only really use this spread dream interpretation spread when I've had a reoccurring dream more than 5 times. And it's more like the dreams I had in 2020 or 2019 before 2020 hit, where they're different dreams, but they all feel like the same message in the dream. They all feel like there's the same theme to them. And that's what's happened here. And I told you guys about the dream I had about my car. Like, I had 3 or 4 dreams in a row, like every couple of weeks, of my windows getting busted out of my car in some form or another. And then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks ago, I had a storm hit. Tree went through my windshield of my car, which is still sitting here because it's taken people forever to actually even get to look at it. So, which will be next Friday. And then maybe a month before it's even done. So, who knows how long it'll be before I actually have my car back. But I've had this recurring dream and it's really bothering me because it's been going on about a year now. It's different, but it's the same every time. There's aspects of it that are the same every time, but then there's aspects of it that are different. This last one was, there's last 2, because I had one, and then like 2 days later I had another one. It was the same type of dream where I was lost. The last dream, though, I think I incorporated it with the show I've been binge watching, because that person was with me in the dream. So I'm like, yeah, I think that was more of them being incorporated into the dream, but it was still a feeling of being lost downtown. And if you've been to many cities, all downtowns are alike. Like, they have several overpasses that go every which way in north, south, east, west, all in one area, bundled up in one area. They have like a Chinatown. They have separate spaces for different ethnicities. Um, they have some tall buildings, small buildings, some that are ghetto, some are not. I've been to enough cities to know there's all the same concept to them. And so I always get lost downtown. I don't know what downtown, because it doesn't look like the downtown I know of Kansas City, Missouri. But I always get lost down there, and I go down there. Don't know why I go down there, but I go down there, and then I always miss my turn to come back home. And I get lost. And then I'm frantic because I'm like, how the heck am I getting home? And I'm always stressed out that I'm not going to make it into work on time, because if for some reason it's in the early morning and I have to go to work. But I'm more stressed out because of where I'm at, and why I'm there. And then I always wind up, for some reason, there's like a train station, which it's more like a city bus station, but it's a train. We don't have anything like that here. Almost like a subway above ground kind of deal, but we don't have subways here, so it's weird. But it's like there's this like metal awnings for people to be shaded by because it's outside, and it's always full of Chinese people. And I'm like, it's weird. The last time I dreamed it, there was an Amish couple there, all standing under this awning. There was a man with like straw blonde hair, a little girl that with the same color hair, and she had her hair in like pigtails, but they were braided down. She had like almost like a gunny sack on, and he had like a dirty brown looking suit on, and he had like the weird farmer's like Amish hat. It was very weird, and I'm like, what are they doing here? Like, but I always wind up abandoning whatever vehicle I'm in. That dream, I was in my husband's truck because I didn't have my car because I'm not driving my car right now. But usually it's my car. I abandon the vehicle, go to this train station. I'm like, I'm just gonna pay the $25 toll and get a ride back to home, so I can get to work. This time, however, I was like, screw this. I can't afford the $25. I'm gonna go back to the truck, and I'm gonna get in the truck, and I'm gonna find a way home. And when I get back to the truck or I get on the train is usually where I wake up. But I'm so stressed out in the dream that I'm lost again repeatedly that I'm like so frustrated. But where I abandoned the car this time, there was like a bluesy jazz area, but it was still like a ghetto part of town. Like it was unsafe during the daytime, let alone at night. And there was murals of all these famous jazz players on the walls of the buildings down the street. Where I had pulled into one of the buildings, it's like a red brick building, and parked my vehicle before running across the street to the train station. These are the kinds of dreams I have because I'm like, once again, I'm lost. And this time, though, it felt more metaphysical than scary. It felt more like I was being shown this jazz part for a reason. I was being shown the Amish father and daughter for a reason. And it just felt weird. But it all had the same concept. I was still afraid, still scared. Fear I'm going to be late for work, which I'm never late for work. So that's just weird. So I found this spread. I pulled the cards already. I'm also using long dream, In Dreams Oracle Guide, deck and guidebook. And then if I need any clarifiers, I thought I would use the Life is Like a Board Game Tarot because it's just words. Maybe give you a little bit more meaning to it. So, and I have not used this deck in a while. I don't know if I showed you, that's the deck I'm going to use, the Relative Tarot. Is the deck I'm using for that. I've rarely used this deck, so I thought I'd pull it out and use it for this spread. So, without further babbling, again, this is what the spread looks like. 6 questions. First one is card to represent this dream. And I have not looked at these cards. The Queen of Pentacles. And I just find that fascinating that she's African American because it automatically pulls back to that jazz thing I was saying. And I'm like, maybe this was a person showing me in my dream what happened to them or where they died, or maybe that's why I keep having this repeated. And it's always the same block that I'm abandoning my car and to go across the street to the train station. And that's my dog. But this time it had the murals on it, which it never had before. And I just found it interesting that every time I've had this dream, there's a little piece added to it. And I just found that interesting that she's African American here. And that's literally takes me right back to I can see these people on this mural as if I just saw them and took a picture of them. That's how vivid my dreams are. So I am starting to think more that this is more someone trying to cut through in my dreams to tell me, hey, I'm here. But it's also the Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to have to pause it to let her in because every time I come out, somebody lets her out. Okay. So that just takes me back to that. Plus, there's a sense of groundedness in this because it's the Queen of Pentacles. Sorry, I'm out of breath a little bit. And card to represent the dream. And again, I'm taken back to this jazzy, bluesy. I almost feel like it's the 40s. And that's how I felt in the dream, like it was the 30s or 40s. And then when you go across the street, you're back in the now time, waiting for the train. And for some reason, I'm getting a cotton gin with this. And I grew up around in Arkansas, like surrounded by cotton gins. So that's quite interesting too, because I don't know, like I said at the beginning, I don't think the city block that I was in the dream, is where I live now. I think it's somewhere else. So that's very, very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Card 2. Why this dream feels so intense. And I have the 9 of Wands, and I just pulled that for the week ahead spread. Was the energy of the week was the 9 of Wands. That's quite interesting because she's, oh, and I've never noticed, she's Asian. That's crazy that these two have popped up, the two main ethnicities in my dream. Both of them have popped up in the first 2 cards in the spread. That's crazy. And then we have the 9 of Wands, which I just did in my week ahead spread that I'm uploading right now, from another deck. That's crazy. It looks like she's got her umbrella, like she's bracing herself from the storm, from the wind. It's just like you gotta plow through, get through it. So what was the question? This is getting interesting. Why this dream feels so intense, and that's why, because you've just already been through so much crap, and that explains a lot, because I've told you guys in a couple videos ago, all the crap that's been going on with me this year, and I just find it interesting that the 9 of Wands is the card that keeps coming up this week. Obviously, we're on day 1 of this week, and I've had it come up twice today. That could be why the dream feels so intense, because being lost is just another, it's like the icing on the cake of this year that's been happening. And I've been having this dream for over 9 months. It's repeating every couple weeks. I'm having this dream, and that's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy. So, card 3, spiritual meaning of the dream. Spiritual meaning of the dream. I've got the Empress. Now, I find this interesting because this card, I felt like it wasn't me, that it was someone else trying to reach out through my dreams. This one I kind of feel like is telling me something in my dream. Mosquitoes. And then this one again feels otherworldly, like it's not me again. Interesting. It feels very, it's the spiritual meaning of the dream. The Empress. The Empress is very motherly, very nurturing. And maybe there's I just figured that out. There's a feeling unsafe in this dream, which is why I feel so anxious, because I'm lost and I have no way of figuring out how to get home. And there's this feeling of loss, I think, because I don't have someone to help me out, or an Empress to bail me out, like a mother figure to take care of me in that sense. That's quite interesting. Quite interesting. Card 4 is how this dream connects to my waking life. I'm scared. And we got the Fool, people. The Fool. That is crazy, because I've had the Fool come up in another spread on my light series I just did yesterday, I think. The Fool has now come up twice in 2 days. How this affects me in my waking life. Not that I'm naive, but I'm too in my own head to notice what's going on around me. And maybe that's where I'm missing the turnoff to go home in this dream, is because I'm so in my head already that I'm missing the opportunity to that's in front of me. And that was pretty much the message I just got in my week ahead spread. And that's triggering the fear and the anxiety when I miss that turn, because that was my own fault for missing it because I wasn't paying attention to it. That's interesting. Quite interesting. This is crazy, y'all. Crazy. This spread is cool, though. Number 5, something I should remember about this dream. And 2 cards fell out about this. Something I should remember about this dream. And one is the 5 of Pentacles, which is stalking me, and the 9 of Pentacles. Both Pentacles. One is about lack and lack thereof, and one is about having abundance. That's quite interesting that those two came out together. And it's something I should remember about this dream. And to me, with these two coming out together, it's a sense of balance. You don't have a lack of. You need to realize what you do have, and maybe not take for granted what you do have. That's quite interesting, because at least I have a vehicle in the dream, regardless of what vehicle it is. At least I have a way to get home. Interesting. That's interesting. Crazy. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this. This is nuts. And the last one is 6, something I should let go of about this dream. Something I should let go of about this dream. And the 7 of Pentacles. So I have the Mystical Medleys tarot. In the 7 of Pentacles, he's just like, there's sweat going on. He's just like, I don't know if I can take anymore. He's doing the hard work. He's done the work. He's waiting and waiting and waiting for his pentacles to be ripe and ready to pick. And he's even got this weird look on his face like, I've been standing here forever. And maybe that is the something I should let go of in the dream, is to stop the impatience. Be more patient. Because my rainbow is coming. Never heard that before. The first time I connected with the tarot deck was the Illuminati. And it was the 3 of Swords. And there was a storm blowing. There was blood dripping from the heart. But the storm was raging on. And it said, the storm can't last forever. Your rainbow is coming. And I literally was like, I heard somebody saying that next to me. And I'm like, what is happening? So I feel that here, where it's telling me, like, eventually you're going to harvest. You're going to reap your rewards. Eventually you're going to reap your rewards. You just have to have patience in the meantime. So I find that quite interesting. And I find that quite interesting and fitting for the dream, is because I just kept feeling like I was going in circles, trying to figure something out, where I'm like, if I'd have just slowed down, had patience, breathed, I would have figured it out. Interesting. And it's funny because the last dream I had, I was like, screw this, I'm not waiting around. I'm going to go back in the truck and I'm going to figure out a way home. So I dropped 3 cards from the In Dreams Oracle, and it's just images, which I can read from the book in these. But this was the first one here. It's beautiful. The second one almost looks like the Empress. And then this one, 36. This one almost reminds me of the 7 of Pentacles after they've reaped their rewards. She's like sitting in the lap of luxury. Like, I love it, I love it, I love it. And then we got this one that's like, almost like she's in the dream. Like in the beginning of the dream. And then here she's the Empress again. Like, that's cool. Like, this was the beginning of my spread. This is somewhere in the middle with the Empress. And then this is the end. Interesting. So let's look at the book for these. And I don't think in the Relative Tarot it actually gives anything. Because it's just like because this is actually geared toward relatives and ancestors. So it doesn't really give you anything, any descriptions in the book. No, it don't. But I will tell you, this book is awesome for pairing these decks or these cards together. So let's look at the End Dreams Oracle. We're going to read these, and they're just quick keywords here too. So card 34. Perceive, learn, be aware. Wow. Air, external events. Change of perception, examine your worldview. If that does not fit with this spread, I don't know what to tell you. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. So if I think I can't get out of this situation, I won't. If I stop and change my perception and realize, examine everything and realize, hey, maybe there's another way to this instead of being so frustrated I can't even think straight. Yeah, that's cool. That goes right along with that. Right along with that. That's cool. I actually read the wrong one. Sorry. 34. Dream is what it's called. Fire action. Soldier on. Luck is on your side. Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is the first card I pulled in this deck. And I've been stalled out on writing for a while. So that is crazy that it said either write something worth reading or do something worth writing. And maybe that's the whole point of the dream is take action, some kind of action. Don't just stall out. Don't just sit there being frustrated in tears. Interesting. And it means dream. So we'll read the right one now. Card 15, stop and get to know yourself. Water, feelings, emotions. Look for the harmony within. Are you serious? And to me, that's, again, reiterating the Empress here. When you see men of worth, we should think of being like them. When we see men of a contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. And that's by Confucius. That's beautiful. Examine why I get so frustrated. Interesting. And then 36. Right past 34. And then again, this one says dream. 2 of 3 of these are dream. Earth, material world. Talk about your dreams. And then it says the past cannot be changed. The future is yet in your power. Mary Pickford. That's beautiful. So that was my crazy dream spread. I like this spread. I'm gonna keep it in my little repertoire to use at a later time. But that was a cool spread. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And y'all have a good night. Bye.